Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome each and every single one of you back here to the channel on YouTube.com. It is, of course, Monday, February 1st, 2021. We are less than 24 hours removed from the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. This is the rewind for WWE Royal Rumble 2021, which of course streamed live last night on the WWE Network with the pre-show starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, you guys are watching this Tuesday afternoon. I'm actually recording this directly after the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Right now, we are supposed to be in the dead of this snowstorm that's currently hitting the East Coast. Jersey, my area of Jersey is getting hit with it extremely bad. We're supposed to get 1 to 2 feet. Apparently, it started at 1 to 3 inches, then it went to 6 to 12. Now it's at 12 to 24 inches. So I'm fucking snowed in. I ain't going to work. Roads are fucking terrible. I'm not sure how long this is going to last. Supposedly, it's supposed to last until 6 a.m. on Tuesday, I believe. But I will be back on the roads. I have work on Wednesday, so hopefully this snowstorm isn't going to plague the roads too much. I'm hoping that it's not too big of an issue. But we're here to talk about the Royal Rumble. First off, people like me, not even people like me, even just regular wrestling fans, we have all been extremely hard on WWE. We have verbally ripped WWE a new asshole time after time again, and rightfully so, because Raw and SmackDown absolutely fucking suck. They're at their worst state that they've ever been in the history of their 60-plus years as a company. The only good part about the entire WWE product as a whole is, of course, Roman Reigns, and you have to wonder, how long is that even going to last? Because remember, Roman and the current character that he's playing, it is all Roman and Heyman. Bruce and Vince do not have any creative say on what Roman Reigns is doing. So you have to think about this for a minute. How much more time do we have before they eventually catch wind of how big Roman is getting on his own? How much longer do we have all of this creative control with Roman Reigns and the Roman Reigns character as the head of the table, the tribal chief? How much longer is it going to be just Roman and Heyman creatively booking Roman Reigns? Does this even last past WrestleMania? And what I mean by that is, do Vince and Bruce take over? We all know what happened with SmackDown in 2016 when Vince McMahon didn't have a creative say in what was going on SmackDown, and then after WrestleMania 33, Vince just completely took over SmackDown and killed everything that SmackDown was towards the second half of 2016 and the beginning of 2017. But that's another story for another day. We'll have to wait and see what happens as far as the Roman Reigns character goes over the course of the next few months. But Roman Reigns has been the only positive thing about the WWE main roster product for 5 months, going on half a year now across Raw and SmackDown. That is not an opinion. That is an absolute fucking fact. And if you're going to deny that, you are an absolute fucking moron and you need to get yourself mentally checked. Me, and people like me, the community, the smart people of the community, I mean, the majority of the community are a bunch of fucking retards, but the smart people of the community, people like me with YouTube channels or podcasts or blogs, we just rip WWE new asshole. We've been ripping WWE new asshole for the last year, for the last half a year, for the last couple weeks, couple months, for the last half decade plus, whatever the fuck you want to say, whatever time frame you want to go by. We've been ripping WWE new asshole for a while now, simply because of the fact that they suck. Again, that's not an opinion, that's a fucking fact. They suck. We don't do it because it's cool. We don't do it because we want to get views, or we want to get likes, or we want to get attention, or we want to get clout. We do it because the shows are bad. The shows are horrendous. The shows are just shitty. Simple as that. As far as the Royal Rumble goes, I don't know what it is, but the Royal Rumble was once terrible. There was a period of time where WWE had some really shit Royal Rumbles. 2014 and 2015, the absolute top two worst Royal Rumbles of all time. Absolutely. 2014, 2015 were both shit. 2016 was okay. 2017 was good, but they got the winner wrong. But ever since 2018, the Royal Rumble, for whatever reason, has been the best overall main roster pay-per-view of the year. That's been the case for the last 3 years, and this year was no different. This year was no different. This year was no different. This was undoubtedly, this will go down. I'm calling it right now, and we're only a month into 2021. This will go down as the best main roster pay-per-view of 2021. I'm not even bullshitting you. Not even bullshitting you. The show overall was great. Now, that doesn't mean that we can get ahead of ourselves. That doesn't mean WWE's turning over a new leaf. That doesn't mean that, oh my God, we're going to get a great build towards WrestleMania. I mean, look at what happened in the last 3 years. 2018 Royal Rumble was great. They got both of the winners correct, and the build was shit, and WrestleMania 34 was shit. Look at 2019. They got both of the winners right, but the build was shit. WrestleMania was good, but the build was shit. And we had to base our excitement on the fact that it was WrestleMania. And it turned out to be a fairly good WrestleMania, but the build was still shit. Look at last year. The show was overall very good. 2020 Rumble was overall very good, minus Charlotte Flair winning the Rumble. But the build was shit, and WrestleMania 36 was shit. So that doesn't mean we can jump for joy and praise the WWE as a company that's finally turning over a new leaf, and the creative decisions are finally turning around, and the creative team's finally being listened to, or Vince McMahon is starting to lose power, or Bruce Pritchard took the night off. Whatever it may be, it's one good show. One great show. It was great. It was one great show. It was one great show. But that does not mean that we can get ahead of ourselves and start praising WWE and jumping for joy. It is all on what happens tonight on Raw. It is all on what happens on Friday, or next week on Raw, or next week on SmackDown, and the week after that, and at the Chamber. It's all in the consistency. Can WWE keep up this consistency? More likely than not, no. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. But, the Royal Rumble, overall, Royal Rumble 2021 was an overall great show. I'd probably give this a 7.5, honest to God, 7.5, maybe an 8 out of 10. Overall, the show was there was a few minor blips here and there. The show didn't go without its flaws, but there were much more positives and there were much more saving graces to the show than there were flaws. And we're going to dissect all of that going down right now on the Rewind. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. I see you all in the chat. Do not worry. I will be interacting with you. First things first. If you guys haven't already done so, please follow me on the Twitter sticks at HistoryMakerDJS. You'll find out why I am the operator of the best damn Twitter known to mankind. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook as well. Add me as a friend on Facebook. For collaborations and business inquiries, please send me an email. My email is, of course, stormstakeover@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook, where only the elite members of the DJ Storms Posse reside. So, please, go check out all those links. They're in the description. Now, the rundown for the Royal Rumble and the Lightning Flash update from 2 days ago, I don't know, they were actually on the lackluster side. I'm not sure what was going on with you guys. Maybe it was the fact that the excitement for the Royal Rumble was just at an all-time low. Maybe it was because the overall week in wrestling just wasn't that exciting. It was probably the fact that the Royal Rumble just has been a complete shitstorm in terms of a build. But I don't know. It was okay. The views were okay. We're over 100 views for both the Lightning Flash update and the rundown. The rundown's at 30 likes. which I am very, very pleased at. I'm very, very pleased that the rundown's at 30 likes. Me and Earl Cole, we absolutely tore it down. We broke down everything to the best of our ability. Very, very pleased to have worked with Earl Cole again. I will be having him back on the channel sooner rather than later. Whenever Earl Cole gets the call, he is always, always down for a collaboration with your boy, DJ Storms. We go together like tacos and Tuesdays, if you know what I mean. I'm sorry, that was a cliche, very cringy one-liner, very cringy metaphor. But regardless, actually, no, it wasn't even a metaphor. It was a fucking simile. I mean, come on, I should know. I got a fucking A in English. I should know this shit. It was a simile because it had like in the words. It had like in the phrase, so it was simile. A little grammar lesson from DJ Storms. I should have been a fucking English teacher. Anyway. So, if you guys missed the Lightning Flash update from Saturday, please go check that out. The link is, of course, in the description. The link is in the description. Please go check that out. And if you haven't already liked the Lightning Flash update, please go check it out. Leave it a like after, of course, this video is over, because you want to hear what I got to say about the Royal Rumble. So please go check out the Lightning Flash update. If you missed it, leave a like. We are over 100 views there. We're going to see if we can get to 150 before this week's Lightning Flash update. We got a lot of shit coming in the next couple of months. Mania season has begun, and Mania season is going to be big. Although I may have to work around my college schedule, I may have to work around my job interviews, of course. I am coming up on my third job interview, actually, on February 12th. That's going to be at around lunchtime, but don't worry, on February 12th, we will have the rundown for NXT TakeOver 33, which is, of course, taking place on Valentine's Day, but on February 12th, we'll have the rundown for NXT TakeOver, and I will keep you guys updated on who my guest is. Of course, I believe they announced the Elimination Chamber. For the 21st. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they announced the Elimination Chamber. I don't understand why there wouldn't be an Elimination Chamber. You got fucking Fastlane 3 weeks before WrestleMania. I would assume they would have an Elimination Chamber set. But I believe we got the Elimination Chamber on the 21st. And then on the 19th, of course, will be the rundown for the Elimination Chamber. I'll keep you updated on who my guest is. Of course, we got Revolution on March 7th. And Fastlane on March 21st. And then, of course, we got the two-night event known as WrestleMania. We got a lot of shit coming. It's going to be a busy couple of months for the DJ Storms brand. I will keep you guys updated. I'll keep you guys updated on my college schedule. I'll keep you guys updated on everything. And I'll let you guys know if I need a break. If I don't need a break, I'll keep you guys updated. Do not worry. If you guys haven't already done so, I don't know why you wouldn't have already. We are 13 minutes into the video. If you haven't liked the video, there is a fucking problem. So I need you all to hit the like button on the video. Please hit the like button on the video. I mean, come on. It is vital that you do so. Hit the like button on the video. It's really not that hard. It's right down there. All you need to do is scroll with your little mouses and click the like button. We're trying to get this video to 30 likes. We got the rundown to 30 likes. Let's get the rewind to 30 likes. It's not that hard. Easy peasy. 30 likes is the usual goal that I set here. If we can get to 50 likes, that would be great. That would be fantastic. That would be amazing if we could get to 50 likes. I would love to get to 50 likes if you guys can keep up the momentum of the DJ Storms brand. The brand's been booming since the start of the year. So I want you guys to keep up that momentum. Please hit the like button if you haven't already done so. Of course, you know what to do. Keep the chat alive. Keep the chat alive. Keep on typing away, interacting with me. Tell me what you thought of the Rumble. Tell me your ratings on the matches if you want to. But of course, the most important thing that you need to do is, in order to reach the goal here of 30 likes and beyond the beyond, I need you guys to share out the stream. It's not that hard. All you need to do is click share right down there and click copy the link and then share it out to all platforms of social media, whether it be Facebook or Twitter or the Instagram or the Tumblrs or the Pinterests. I don't know why I'm saying the before all the social media platforms, but regardless, I need y'all to share it out on all platforms of social media and get everybody in here. Get everybody in here, whether it be your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your aunt, your uncle, your grandfather, your grandmother, your friends, your fans. If you have fans, if you got your own podcast, share it out to your own podcast fans. And get your fans in here, your dogs, your cats, your guinea pigs, your rats, your snakes, your billy goats, your pet platypuses, whatever pets that you have. Get them in here. Get them in here. I want everyone to be watching me. All eyes on me. Little Tupac reference right there. Anyway, and when you do that, when you share the stream out, you keep the chat alive, you got to make sure you hit the subscribe button. We've been up, we've been down, we've gained a couple subscribers, then we lose a couple subscribers, then we gain a couple subscribers, then we lose a couple subscribers. We're teetering. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm not sure what the fuck's going on with YouTube, but YouTube got something against me with censorship. I'm not sure. I think they're trying to censor me and blackball me and keep me from reaching my goals because YouTube is run by a bunch of fucking assholes. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you all to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And of course, when you subscribe, you got to hit the notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, it is the best time to be on YouTube. I mean, come on. It's the only time you're going to get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination and this beautiful mustache right here. Of course, do I have it? Do I have it? Damn right I do. Yeah. You already know. Because everybody wants a piece of the Stormsmeister. I don't know why I just harmonized that. I'm making up shit on the fly. Over here. But regardless, enough of the self-brand promotion and the advertisements. I think you want to hear my thoughts on the Rumble. Of course, I'm going to get into that. We're going to start off with the pre-show. And this was the match that I expected to be moved to the pre-show. And it was Asuka and Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. This was for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. I'm not going to bullshit you. I will say one positive thing about this match. Most of it was negative, but the match itself was not horrible. I will say the match itself was not that bad. It was actually better than the match at TLC between all of these four women. The match was not horrible. The match was decent. It was probably the weakest match of the night. Probably the weakest, actually, not really. I mean, McIntyre and Goldberg was probably the weakest match of the night, but the match itself was not horrible. It was okay for what it was. I'm not going to sit here and shit on the match quality itself because we did have a decent wrestling match, but at the end of the day, the women's tag team titles mean nothing. It means absolutely nothing, and I don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I don't even think they know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know what the fuck's going down with the women's tag team titles. I don't know what the fuck's going down with the Raw women's title. I don't know what the fuck's going down with Charlotte Flair. I have an idea of what's going down with Charlotte Flair, but I honest to God don't know what the fuck they're doing as far as this goes. So, the match itself was not that bad. Asuka was isolated. She came in with a diving code breaker for a 2. Asuka then got power bombed, or she power bombed Nia Jax, off the middle rope. And then she had a roundhouse kick to Shayna. Nia with a powerbomb of her own, but that was broken up by Charlotte. We had the tag to Charlotte. She had a double natural selection on Nia and Shayna. Shayna was able to kick out. We had a Samoan drop by Nia and a big knee drop by Baszler. Flair was able to kick out. Asuka with a hip attack to Nia Jax. Baszler sent Asuka over the table. We then had the worst moonsault in history by Charlotte Flair. She took out Baszler and Jax. She slid Baszler back into the ring, and then out of nowhere, Ric Flair ended up coming out. Baszler tried to roll her up. Flair kicked out. Lacey tried to distract Charlotte. Charlotte locked in the figure 8, but Lacey pulled Charlotte's arms out from underneath her. She pulled Charlotte's arms out from underneath her. Ref didn't see it. Rick then handed Lacey brass knuckles, I believe it was. Nia distracted the ref, and Lacey hit a women's right with the brass knuckles. Shayna tagged in Nia. Nia hit the leg drop to the back of Charlotte Flair, and we have new women's tag team champions. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler become the third team in history to hold the women's tag team titles twice. Like I said, the match wasn't completely horrible, but what the fuck was the point of this? Honest to God, what the fuck was the point of this? And listen, I hate this feud between Charlotte Flair and Lacey Evans. It is undoubtedly the worst feud in pro wrestling right now. I take the Miro and Kip Sabian versus the Best Friends in Orange Cassidy feud in AEW over this shit. And that feud isn't even that good, but at least that feud is going to result in a good match with Miro and Orange Cassidy, more likely than not a Revolution. But I don't know what the fuck this Lacey-Charlotte feud has that's positive. But no matter how much I hate the feud, wouldn't it have made more sense since Lacey is feuding with Charlotte? Charlotte is one half of the women's tag team champions. Lacey is teaming with Peyton. Wouldn't it have made more sense to have Lacey and Peyton versus Charlotte and Asuka at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view for the women's tag team championship? Wouldn't it have made more sense to have that match at the pay-per-view? Because ultimately, Lacey Evans has Ric Flair under her arm. So, what's the next step? Take the fucking women's tag team titles from Charlotte. We all know that Charlotte is going to end up facing Asuka at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's Championship. It's fucking inevitable. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact of why didn't they just fucking do it at the Royal Rumble to fucking get it over with? I don't understand why they didn't just do it at the Rumble to fucking get it over with, so that way we could have moved on from this bullshit. So now we gotta wait 2.5 more months to finally get this match, so Charlotte could win the title, and then we have to suffer for God knows how long with Charlotte as the Raw Women's Champion, waiting to see who's gonna take it off of her. I hate the feud, but that would have made more sense to have a women's tag team title match between Lacey and Peyton and Charlotte and Asuka. And on top of that, why are Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler still tag teaming? Why are you giving them a reason to stay a tag team? We need to get Nia Jax to the unemployment line, and we need to get Shayna Baszler in a Raw Women's title program with Asuka. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know what the fuck this is resulting in. This is not resulting in Charlotte Flair versus Lacey Evans at fucking WrestleMania. That's not happening. Because Vince can't bear to fucking have the Queen out of the Raw Women's title picture. We're getting Asuka and Charlotte at WrestleMania, regardless of whether we have a number one contenders elimination chamber match or not. But at the end of the day, it would have made much more fucking sense just to have Charlotte and Asuka retain, and then Lacey and Peyton face off against Charlotte and Asuka at the Elimination Chamber, whether or not Lacey and Peyton win the titles or not. I would have much rather taken Lacey and Peyton with the titles, because at least then we would have gotten Shayna breaking away from Nia. At least it would have made more sense. Absolutely fucking nothing made sense here. Match wasn't that bad, but at the end of the day, all these illogical booking decisions absolutely trump what wasn't a bad match. This is not doing Asuka any favors. This is not doing the women's title any favors. This is not doing Shayna any favors. This is not doing the division any favors. This was absolutely fucking nonsensical garbage. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They probably don't even know what the fuck they're doing. All I know is that Charlotte is going to be the Raw Women's Champion after WrestleMania is over. Somewhere between now and WrestleMania, Charlotte's going to win the Raw Women's title, whether you like it or not. I just wish that they would have done it here, so we would have gotten it over with. Then it would have been a little bit more tolerable, because Charlotte would have only held it till WrestleMania. More likely than not, Charlotte would have lost the title at WrestleMania, but now she's going to win it at WrestleMania, and she'll probably hold it till SummerSlam. So instead of 2 months as Raw Women's Champion, we got to suffer through 5 months as Raw Women's Champion with Charlotte Flair. That was the kickoff match. We got Goldberg, Oldberg, Cocaine Beardberg versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. This kicked off the show. So they had us sweating. They had us sweating pretty early. Goldberg was wearing black workout shorts. I'm not even lying. He legitimately looked like Brock Lesnar. He was wearing black workout shorts that went down to his knee pad. He looked like Brock Lesnar. He looked like he was ready for a boxing match. So Drew came out. Drew with a headbutt and a spear. Yes, Drew with a headbutt, and then he speared Goldberg. The bell did not ring. The bell did not ring here. So Goldberg, and Drew then brought to the outside. Goldberg with a spear to Drew through the barricade. Drew got back up. The match started. Goldberg got kicked in the gut, and then Drew hit the Claymore, but Goldberg kicked out at 2. Goldberg then dodged a second Claymore. We had a spear to Drew, a second spear, but Drew kicked out. Goldberg then hit a very sloppy looking fucking jackhammer. He didn't drop Drew on his neck, he dropped him on his back, but he dropped him very, very sloppily. He was able to get Drew up there, but it was a very sloppy looking fucking jackhammer. Drew was able to kick out. Thank Christ. I almost legitimately had a heart attack right there. Drew barely kicked out a jackhammer. So Goldberg went for a third spear. He missed it. Drew sent him into the turnbuckle. Drew measured Goldberg, and Drew hit the Claymore. And McIntyre retained. It only took 2 Claymores to bring down the 54-year-old dinosaur known as Oldberg. And afterwards, they embraced, and Goldberg raised Drew McIntyre's hand, and that was that. They brought us to the verge of a stroke with that jackhammer, that very sloppy-looking jackhammer. It was better than the one that he delivered against The Fiend, but it was still a shit-looking jackhammer. He hit the jackhammer, and Drew barely kicked out. I swear to God, I thought Goldberg won the WWE title there, but they made the right decision. They brought us to the verge of a stroke. I nearly had a fucking stroke, and I'm not even 25. I'm about to be 22 on April 2nd. Happy early birthday to me. Happy early birthday to your boy. But I almost had a fucking stroke. I was very, very, very apprehensive towards this match, but they ended up making the right decision, and Drew McIntyre beat Goldberg clean. Still wondering why Goldberg didn't fucking put over The Fiend in Saudi Arabia, but regardless, you can't really worry about that now because The Fiend's already dead. Drew McIntyre retained the WWE Championship, and Drew is going to go into WrestleMania with that championship, rightfully so, deservedly so, and this was, thank Christ, there is a God. This was the last that we saw of Goldberg. He was in, he speared, he jackhammered, he got Claymore twice, and he was out. We did not see Goldberg at all for the rest of the night. So that right there, that was a very nice start to the Rumble. No Goldberg in the Rumble? 2 thumbs up from me. McIntyre is heading into WrestleMania, rightfully so. What he does within the next few months, I don't know. But based on what happened in the main event, based on what happened in the men's Royal Rumble, it does look like that we are probably going to get Drew McIntyre and Sheamus in the main event of Fastlane, Because Drew McIntyre, obviously, Drew is not defending the WWE title at the Elimination Chamber, nor does he need to defend the WWE title at the Elimination Chamber. Matter of fact, you can get away with the Elimination Chamber being, we can have 2 Elimination Chamber matches, one for the SmackDown men, and then one for the Raw women. Then you could have Reigns and Nakamura, because Nakamura, he still deserves a Universal title match. He did get fucked over, but you can get Reigns and Nakamura in there, and that could be your World title match. Then you can get a few undercard matches, and that's your Elimination Chamber card. But McIntyre is not defending the title inside the Elimination Chamber, nor does he need to defend the title at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. You need a marquee match, you need a world title match for Fastlane. More likely than not, you could do McIntyre and Sheamus then, based on what happened in the main event. But McIntyre retains over Goldberg, rightfully so. Thank Christ they made the right decision. I will give them credit where credit is due. We had Sasha Banks versus Carmella. This was for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Decent little match right here. Pretty much the same match that we got at TLC, but still, we got a good match. So Carmella was in control early, trying to wear down Sasha. Carmella got caught with a Meteora. Sasha landed hard on her knee. That didn't really come into play later on, but they played it up as if that would come into play later on. Carmella tried to take over. She actually tied Sasha's hair up in the ropes. That was very, very nice. We had Banks fighting back with a double Meteor for a 2. Banks was then thrown out of the ring into Reginald. She Hurricane Rana'd Reginald around on the floor, gave him a right hand, and then Reginald was actually ejected. Carmella then with a suicide dive, taking out Sasha. And Carmella, she actually hit this suicide dive, reminded me of what happened with Lita and Trish Stratus in the main event of Monday Night Raw for the Women's Championship. Carmella almost landed very, very hard on her neck. Now, listen, Carmella, I understand that you feel like you got something to prove, and let me tell you something. You got balls, figuratively speaking. You got balls. You're not afraid, and you can wrestle. But please, just chill. You got to do this suicide dive correctly. All right, honey? But Carmella, I got to give Carmella credit. Carmella, she can wrestle. Carmella has gotten immensely better from 2018 when she had that horrid reign as SmackDown Women's Champion. She was just as bad as Billie Kay, maybe even worse. But Carmella has definitely gotten better in the ring. She can wrestle. Banks went for the frog splash later on, but Carmella was able to get the knees up. She locked in the code of silence. Banks ended up fighting out of it. Banks with a dive onto Carmella, but Carmella caught her with a super kick in the gut. She had a second super kick to the face, but Sasha kicked out. Sasha wrestled Carmella down into the bank statement, and Carmella tapped out. Decent little match right here. Not a bad match whatsoever. Carmella held her own. Undoubtedly, the 2 best matches of Carmella's career have been with Sasha Banks. And, of course, that match with Bayley at the beginning of 2020, I will give Carmella credit. Carmella can hold her own when she is given the opportunity. Banks and Bayley made Carmella look good. Carmella, I don't know where she goes. I don't really give a shit. More likely than not, she will be nothing more than an afterthought on SmackDown. But Carmella, she held her own. Like I said with Sasha Banks, what Sasha does between now and WrestleMania is irrelevant. But Sasha Banks retains the SmackDown Women's Championship. We get a good match here with Carmella. Again, pretty much the same match that we got at TLC, but still a good match. So, up to this point, Royal Rumble was actually off to a pretty decent start. And then we get the 30 Women Royal Rumble match. And I'm actually going to go out on record and say that we actually had a better Women's Royal Rumble match than we had a Men's Royal Rumble match. So for all you fucking retards out there that want to call me a sexist, because that's all you got, just because you don't like the truth I speak, I'm pointing it out there. I actually thought that the women had a better Rumble match than the men. And that's going based off of the winner, too, because they got the Women's Royal Rumble match winner correct. So number 1 was Bayley. A lot of people were actually calling that Bayley was going to win from the number 1 position. Number 2 was Naomi. Very, very pleased to see Naomi back. She's very underrated at what she does. They went back and forth for a little bit. Bianca Belair came out at number 3. my girl, Bianca Belair, my pick. 4 was Billie Kay. This is your reminder. This is your Sunday reminder or Monday reminder. This is your weekly reminder. This is your Friday reminder on a Monday that Billie Kay is AIDS. Billie Kay is the human personification of AIDS. I just want to make sure everybody knows. If I can get everyone in the chat right now to type Billie Kay is AIDS, I would greatly appreciate that. So please, give me a Billie Kay is AIDS in the chat. If you like the review, so we are 35 minutes into the review. If you are liking the rewind for the Royal Rumble, type Billie Kay is AIDS in the chat. So, we had Billie Kay talking to the announcers. Shotzi Blackheart came out at number 5. She came out with the tank and she fired her missile from her tank at Billie. Even Shotzi knows Billie Kay is AIDS. Number 6 was Shayna Baszler. Billie went up to Shayna, tried to form a partnership. Shayna said, fuck you. She didn't really say that, but she figuratively said that. Number 7 was Toni Storm. It was Toni time. Billie went over to Toni. Toni just walked past her. She was lighting up people. Shotzi was eliminated by Baszler. Number 8 was Jillian Hall. We all know that Jillian Hall is a woman from the Divas era that we all like to forget. Billie Kay went up to Jillian. She was shocked, and they ended up teaming up. She didn't sing. Jillian didn't sing, thank Christ, so I didn't mind Jillian in the Royal Rumble. So, they were working together. Ruby Riott came out at number 9. Victoria came out at number 10. Victoria looks pretty good. She ain't the lady to mess with. Victoria, she was actually in the Divas division when I started watching WWE, so that was a nice little throwback right there. 11 was Peyton Royce. Peyton Royce caught the Widow's Peak from Victoria. 12 was Santana Garrett. Nice to see Santana Garrett back. She's actually pretty underrated at what she does. 13 was Liv Morgan. Billie Kay eliminated Jillian Hall. And then the Riot Squad eliminated Billie Kay. Goodbye. Goodbye. And don't come back. You should have been released on Black Wednesday over almost a year ago. 14 was Rhea Ripley. And she played a huge factor into this Rumble. She lit up everyone. Rhea Ripley actually eliminated Toni. So, they actually had the right women. They actually had the right woman eliminate Toni Storm. Because they have history. So, Rhea got some revenge on Toni Storm for beating her on NXT a couple weeks back. Shayna eliminated Victoria. Very happy that Shayna actually got a little bit of a decent showing in this Rumble. Rhea eliminated Santana. Number 15 was Charlotte Flair. And this is your second weekly reminder. In case you don't already know, we live by 2 codes on this channel. The first code is Billie Kay is AIDS, which you already typed in the chat, I saw. And the second code is fuck Charlotte Flair and all of her supporters. I don't care who you are. Fuck Charlotte Flair and fuck you if you support her. She is a self-centered, egotistical cunt. See how many people I piss off with that one. 16 was Dana Brooke. Bayley actually eliminated Ruby Riott before Dana Brooke came out. Dana with a swanton bomb onto the field. Morgan was then eliminated by Peyton Royce. 17 was Tori Wilson. She had her little offensive flurry. Ripley then powerbombed Dana Brooke on the apron, which looked brutal, and she eliminated her. Ripley was looking great. Ripley was a fucking monster in this Royal Rumble. 18 came out. It was Ric Flair. He merely came out to accompany Lacey Evans. She was wearing the purple Chinese ceremonial robe. I'm going to say this again. This was not a Ric Flair robe. It didn't look anywhere near close to a fucking Ric Flair robe. It was a purple Chinese ceremonial robe. It looked like the robe that the mystery woman that Xia Li had with her was wearing. Surprised Xia Li wasn't in this Rumble. So the Chinese ceremonial robe made a return in the Rumble. Charlotte then attacked Lacey. And they both went under the bottom rope. The brawl continued to the floor. Peyton was then eliminated by Charlotte. Shayna eliminated Tori. 19 was Mickie James. And when Mickie James made her entrance, Bayley was actually eliminated by Bianca Belair. She lasted nearly a half hour. I know that Bayley was a lot of people's picks. Trust me, I understand. But if anything, Bayley had a nice performance. And the right women eliminated Bayley. That's one thing I need to give credit. They had a lot of eliminations that they needed to go through, and we actually had the correct women. Not only did we have more or less the correct winners, but the correct people looked strong. The NXT talent looked great, and we had the correct people eliminating certain individuals. If there was one individual who was the correct individual to eliminate Bayley, if Bayley wasn't going to win, it was Bianca. And I'm glad that it was her. So I got to give WWE credit there. 20 was Nikki Cross. 21 was Alicia Fox. R-Truth actually came out. He had a little interaction with Alicia Fox. He said, "Oh, my bad." And then the catering crew, Humberto, Drew Gulak, Eric of the Viking Raiders, Tozawa, Kung Fu Naki 2.0, Tozawa came out. I'm still waiting for my pay because WWE, I'm still waiting for my pay because you used my joke on your show about 3 months ago when you mentioned Kung Fu Naki in relation to Akira Tozawa. I'm waiting for my pay, fuckers. Alicia Fox pinned R-Truth. She won the 24/7 title. Mandy Rose then came out at number 22. Fox was eliminated by Rose. And then R-Truth pinned Alicia Fox to win back to 24/7. We got two shitstorms in the same match. Alicia Fox and the 24/7 title. Thank fucking Christ Fox was eliminated quickly. I don't even know why the fucking 24/7 title is still a thing, but thank God Alicia Fox was eliminated quickly. She is just as AIDS as Billie Kay. If Alicia Fox is going to be a regular, I think we may have to change one of the codes. Billie Kay and Alicia Fox are... Actually, you know what? The third code will probably be Alicia Fox's herpes. The third code will probably be Alicia Fox's herpes. It's either that or Alicia Fox... Alicia Fox is something. Alicia Fox is cancer. Alicia Fox is herpes. Something. We need a code. If you guys can help me think of a code if Alicia Fox is a regular, I will be ecstatic. I will be ecstatic if you guys can help me think of a third code should Alicia Fox become a regular. I'll probably just go with Alicia Fox's herpes, but we'll see what happens. But I don't think she's going to be a regular. But we had 23. 23 was Dakota Kai. And we had Lacey. She eliminated Mickie James. 24 was Carmella. Ripley eliminated Dakota Kai and Mandy Rose. So I believe this was like 5 or 6 eliminations for Rhea Ripley. Reginald saved Carmella from elimination. Mella eliminated Nikki Cross. 25 was Tamina. Reginald dropped Carmella and Tamina super kicked him. Carmella was eliminated. Naomi fell out, but Naomi kept her feet up in the air, and she actually used Bianca Belair's hair. She actually used Bianca Belair's hair to keep herself in. Lana then came out at number 26, and my worst fear came true. I thought Lana was going to fucking win the whole thing. 27 was Alexa Bliss. She did her usual offense. She was very giddy. Everyone then attacked Alexa Bliss before the lights went out. Rhea Ripley then eliminated Alexa Bliss before she could transform into the Fiend. And that was her 6th elimination. 28 was Ember Moon. We had an Eclipse to Baszler. Ember was taking out Rhea Ripley. She had a double code breaker on Charlotte and Tamina. 29 was Botchamania herself. Nia Jax. Nia Botch. Baszler eliminated Evans. Jax eliminated Moon. Baszler and Jax then eliminated Naomi. They eliminated Tamina. Jax then turned on Baszler and eliminated Baszler, so I don't even know why the fuck you even put the women's tag team titles back on them if you were just going to have Jax eliminate Baszler. That would have been the final nail in the coffin for the breakup of their team. And I would have been ecstatic because Nia would have been away from Shayna, and Shayna could go out on her own again. A guy can dream. Lana went after Nia. Lana was then eliminated by Nia, so I actually became a Nia Jax fan at that moment. I became a Nia Jax fan at that moment when she eliminated Lana. Fuck Lana, too. I think Lana's probably gonna be a fourth coat if she's a regular. I don't think Alicia Fox is gonna be a regular, so I'll probably go with Lana is herpes for the third code on this channel. We're gonna piss off a lot of people, and I love it. 30 was Natalya. 30 was Natalya. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm awake. You know, I think Thunder actually just painted this wall. This is actually very, very exciting. Much more exciting than watching Natalya. Natalya, she was attacked by Baszler and Nia, and then they actually attacked the rest of the field before they left. So Natalya was thrown into the ring. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I messed up a little bit because I was thinking about how fucking boring Natalya is. Lana eliminated Nia Jax. Excuse me. Nia didn't eliminate Lana. Lana eliminated Nia, so she got her revenge on Nia. Natalya then eliminated Lana. So I actually became a Natalya fan there, excuse me. I was thinking about, I'm sorry, I got so caught up in these codes and the fact that the fact that Natalya's boring as fuck. I'd rather stare at the fucking napkins that are propping up my cell phone right now to record this video. I'd rather stare at the fucking napkins and see if the napkins would actually do something exciting, even though I know that they're not going to do anything, but I would rather stare at these fucking napkins than watch Natalya wrestle. Belair then eliminated Natalya, and then we were down to the final three. And they almost gave us a stroke again. With the Women's Royal Rumble. Belair and Ripley ended up eliminating Charlotte Flair, and that was that. That was the end of the Queen's reign of terror in the Royal Rumble. Thank fucking Christ. And it came down to Bianca and Ripley. Both women went back and forth. We had some great back and forth action between Ripley and Bianca. Ripley with a roundhouse kick. Bianca and Ripley traded strikes back and forth. They reversed each other's finishing moves. Belair ducked the clothesline, and Belair ended up clotheslining Rhea Ripley over the top rope. And Bianca Belair is your winner of the 2021 Women's Royal Rumble match. I called it. I've been saying it for months. Finally, WWE made the right decision. WWE did the right thing. And I do not usually give WWE credit here, but I got to give them a lot of credit here. They made NXT talent look great in this Rumble. They made a lot of people look good in this Rumble. Shayna looked decent for a little bit. Toni Storm, she had a nice, decent showing. Very happy to see Toni. Happy to see Ember in there. This right here, the final two of this Rumble, not only did they get the winner right, but they made not one, but two new stars. They made two new stars with Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley had a dominant performance. 8 eliminations, I believe she had, and she came down to the final 2. That's how you make a new star in Rhea Ripley. I don't expect it to last, but that's how you make a new star. And Bianca, that is how you make a new star with Bianca, and I am so fucking ecstatic. I am so happy that Bianca Belair is finally getting her due. This woman, literally, was on the main roster for 10 months. 3 of which those months were spent in catering because Bruce Pritchard decided not to fucking utilize her for whatever reason. But now, after all these months of doing nothing, after all these months of doing absolutely nothing, finally she gets her due. She should have been in the women's title hunt months ago. But They finally made the right decision. They made the correct decision here. Bianca was the correct winner. Bianca was the best overall winner out of everyone, out of absolutely everyone in the Women's Royal Rumble. Bianca Belair was the best overall winner, and I am very, very, very happy that Bianca Belair got her due. I don't care what anyone says. Whether you like it or not, Bianca Belair was ready. Bianca Belair was ready. Bianca Belair deserved this, and Bianca Belair will be your new SmackDown Women's Champion by the end of WrestleMania. Excellent, excellent stuff. Undoubtedly, this was the best Women's Royal Rumble since they started doing the Women's Royal Rumble. Correct winner. They made a great decision having Rhea and Bianca in the final two. Two women who should be at the top of the WWE Women's Division. Two women who are the absolute future. Two women who are going to carry this company, hopefully, for generations to come. That's how you make two new stars in the same match. Excellent stuff. Bianca wins. Right decision. And Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks is your SmackDown Women's title match for the WrestleMania show. Whether it be on night 1 or night 2. Peter Rosenberg actually won the 24/7 title from R-Truth. Who the fuck cares? Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. This was a last man standing match for the Universal Championship. This was fucking excellent. This was absolutely excellent. And I do want to say it was probably better than their match at the 2017 Rumble. Maybe if it had fans, it would have had that extra oomph to it. But the booking of this match and the overall production of this match was excellent. Both men absolutely beat the ever-living shit out of each other, and both men proved why they are two men who have had probably the greatest rivalry of the modern era. Roman and Kevin Owens, they have had some of the best matches of the modern era. With their match at Royal Rumble, their match at TLC, their match on SmackDown, now their match here. Excellent stuff. I have nothing bad to say about this match. This was excellently produced. So, Reigns and Owens, they went right after each other. Reigns actually got pop-up powerbombed. He got up fairly quickly. We had a spear to Owens on the floor. Owens ended up getting up. Reigns then used the steps against Owens. Owens dropped Reigns on the production table. Owens then went up into the virtual fans. They brawled higher and higher and higher. Owens tried to chop out the legs of Roman. Owens then with a stunner. They were very close to the edge. Owens ended up getting tossed off the platform through the tables, but Owens was able to make it to his feet. Owens then walked into the back. He walked into the workout area of Tropicana Field where they work out. They had another ring. And Owens, the camera was on Owens, and just visualize this. The camera was on Owens, like it's on me, and out of nowhere, Reigns comes out of fucking nowhere with a golf cart and runs over Owens, and Owens crashes through. He hits the golf cart. The golf cart hits him with so much force that Owens' body causes the plexiglass windshield of the golf cart to completely break off. It looked absolutely fucking brutal. That came out of fucking nowhere. So, that was fucking crazy. Owens still got up because he's a fucking beast. Owens then fought back. Owens called Roman Reigns a son of a bitch when Roman was talking to the heavens, talking to his grandfather. So he called Roman a son of a bitch. He dropped him on a table, an announce table actually. He pop-up powerbombed Roman on an announce table that was just sitting there. It didn't break. Owens then with a frog splash off the production crates through the table, and both men made it back to their feet. Owens then said, fuck this. Owens put Roman on another table. He went to a forklift that was conveniently right there, raised the forklift, went up to the top of the forklift. I was getting Extreme Rules 2014 vibes when Daniel Bryan jumped off the forklift onto Kane. at Extreme Rules of 2014. I was actually there live in the crowd at the Izod Center in New Jersey. So Owens, like a fucking maniac, with a swanton bomb off of the forklift through the table, and both men made it back to their feet. So Roman Reigns is actually bleeding, and Owens, like the fucking genius that he is, whose blood is that on your face? That's not mine. That's your tribal blood. So Owens is fucking fantastic with these one-liners. So both men made it to their feet again. Roman with a Superman punch, and then he speared Owens through the LED stage. And Owens, I thought, was out for good. But Owens ended up rolling off the stage onto his feet to break the count. Roman then had handcuffs. He repeatedly punched Owens with the handcuffs. Owens then fought back, hit another stunner, took the handcuffs, and he handcuffed Roman to one of the stage pillars. And Roman couldn't get to his feet from that position. And this part right here was absolutely ingenious. That whoever booked this little portion of the match, whoever decided to put this portion, it was probably Roman and Heyman. If they did do this, whoever booked this little portion of the match, it was absolutely brilliant. Fucking ingenious here. Roman was handcuffed to a point where he could not get to his feet from that position, so much so that the ref was at 9. Roman, in sheer desperation, pulled the referee into a steel bar on the stage, a steel bar that was part of this steel stage pillar. He pulled the referee face first into a steel pillar. It was absolutely fucking ingenious, and the ref did not finish his count. The ref didn't finish his count. And Roman Reigns saved his championship by the skin of his teeth. That was ingenious. Absolutely ingenious right there. Roman then pulled the ref, sent him into the steel. Owens went to attack Roman. He hit a low blow on Owens. Heyman then helped uncuff Roman. Roman then locked in the guillotine, and Owens passed out. Roman made it back to his feet, and Roman Reigns retains the WWE Universal Championship. This match was absolutely excellent. This was undoubtedly the match of the night. That spot when Roman pulled the referee into the steel bar to stop the count, ingenious. And I love the fact that Roman Reigns won this match without Jey Uso. And more likely than not, it's because Jey Uso has COVID, because he wasn't even in the Rumble. But I'm actually very, very happy that Roman Reigns did not need Jey Uso's help to win the Royal Rumble match. And he won clean, because there was no DQ, so he could low blow Kevin Owens, and he could pull the ref into a steel bar. I mean, he's Roman Reigns. He could do whatever the fuck he wants. But this was an excellent match. Undoubtedly the match of the night. Undoubtedly, Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens will go down as one of the greatest rivalries of the modern era. And Kevin Owens has been enhanced tenfold because of this match. I really do hope that Kevin Owens does do something of substance going into WrestleMania of this year. This was an excellent, excellent match, and I could not be more prouder of Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. They both did an excellent job with this match. 30-man Royal Rumble match. Edge and Orton, they were number 1 and 2, and Edge actually didn't even wait for Randy Orton to stop and get in the ring. Edge ran right up the ramp and attacked Orton immediately. So the brawl was on. They brawled by the table before number 3 came out, which was Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was actually in for a decent amount of time. Zayn and Orton, they worked on Edge. Number 4 was Mustafa Ali. He went after Edge. The three heels were working on Edge. Number 5 was Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy did a double whisper in the wind on Mustafa Ali and Sami Zayn. Randy Orton hit an RKO to Hardy, an RKO to Zayn, an RKO to Ali. Edge came in with a spear to Orton. Edge took Orton outside the ring. They were brawling by the table, and Edge actually hit an execution on the table to Randy Orton. The table did not break. Number 6 was Dolph Ziggler. Edge used a chair on Randy Orton as Dolph Ziggler eliminated Hardy. Dolph then had hit a zigzag to Edge. I don't know if you guys have ever watched. I'm gonna advocate for this match again. If you guys have never watched Edge versus Dolph Ziggler from the Royal Rumble of 2011 for the World Heavyweight Championship, you need to go out of your way to watch. It was probably one of Edge's best matches in the latter years of his career. That match was excellent. You need to go out of your way to watch it. It was one of probably one of Dolph Ziggler's best matches to date. That match and the match with The Miz at No Mercy of 2016. Those were two of Dolph Ziggler's probably the top 2 best Dolph Ziggler matches that I've personally seen. So not number 5. I don't know why I'm saying number 5. Number 7 was Shinsuke Nakamura. The refs were attending to Orton after Orton got hit in the leg with a steel chair by Edge. Orton looked legitimately hurt. I was actually legitimately concerned for Orton. Number 8 was Carlito. We had the nice spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool. Vio desgraciado. So when I come to the WWE, you better be cool. Cool like me. Carlito. Caribbean. Cool. I'm sorry. I had to do my Carlito impersonation. Little side note. Carlito, he actually holds a special place in my heart. Carlito was actually tag team champions with his brother, not his brother, his cousin, Primo. Carlito and Primo were actually tag team champions when I first started watching WWE. So Carlito actually holds a special place in my heart there. He looked fantastic, by the way. I don't know what he's on. I'm not sure what he's been doing. I'm not sure if he's been doing some fucking DDP yoga. I'm not sure how many pounds he can deadlift, how many pounds he's bench pressing. But Carlito, man, Jesus. Can I have that body? I mean come on, I'm almost 22. I want abs like that. I want fucking abs like that. So, Nakamura and Carlito, they had a little back and forth. Nakamura caught a backstabber. Number 9 was Xavier Woods. Number 10 was Big E. Zayn was eliminated by the New Day. 11 was John Morrison, Johnny Drip Drip. Ali eliminated Woods, and then Big E was pissed. Big E then took out his anger by eliminating Ali. Number 12 was Ricochet. And I know a lot of people are asking, didn't Ricochet lose a qualifying match to AJ Styles? More likely than not, he did. I'm not sure if it was mentioned for sure if Ricochet and AJ Styles, if that was an actual qualifying match. I'm not sure if it was an actual qualifying match. I don't even fucking care at this rate. Apparently, Bruce Pritchard doesn't care. Bruce Pritchard deems that not important enough to remember. Meanwhile, it took place on Raw 2 weeks ago. Whatever. So, Elias then came out at number 13. He eliminated Carlito. Number 14 was Damian Priest. And I kept an eye on Damian Priest in this match. Damian Priest actually looked really good. And another thing I will give WWE credit, they made Damian Priest look really good in this match. Elias was eliminated by Priest. So that was his first elimination. I think Priest eliminated the most men in this Rumble, if I'm not mistaken. 15 was The Miz. Miz and Morrison took out Dolph Ziggler. They worked together before Bad Bunny came out after The Miz actually destroyed his DJ turntables. Earlier on in the night, they were pitching ideas to Bad Bunny that they should work together. Bad Bunny declined. And so Miz took out his anger on Bad Bunny by destroying the DJ turntables that were conveniently just left out there. So Bad Bunny actually came out. He was pissed. Priest eliminated both men, so that was 3 eliminations for Priest. And Bad Bunny with a dive onto Miz and Morrison off the top rope. He had no fear, so that was a stamp on the letter Not even the letter. That was a stamp on the careers of John Morrison and The Miz over the course of the last year. John Morrison and The Miz are bona fide enhancement talents. 2016. 16, number 16. I'm not sure why I'm saying 2016. I'd much rather be back in 2016 than living in 2021, to be quite honest with you. 16 was Matt Riddle. Daniel Bryan entered at number 17. Riddle and Nakamura mixed it up. That's a match I would like to see. Matt Riddle and Shinsuke Nakamura, sign me up. Kane, Mayor Kane. I actually don't mind Kane as a politician. I actually like Kane as a politician. Kane was number 18. He chokeslammed Riddle and Nakamura. He eliminated Ziggler and Ricochet. Team Hell No had a little reunion. We had the hug. And then he chokeslammed Daniel Bryan. Damian Priest actually eliminated Kane. And I'm very, very happy that it was Priest to do so. That was 4 eliminations. Priest looked pretty damn good in this Rumble. 19 was Baron Corbin. Burger King Corbin. We had a deep 6 to Nakamura, and then he eliminated Shinsuke. 20 was Otis. Corbin eliminated Otis. 21 was Dominic Mysterio. He actually eliminated Corbin. And that actually made sense, so I'm actually not going to complain about that. 22 was Bobby Lashley. Lashley eliminated Dominic. He eliminated Damian Priest. And I'm actually not going to shit on Damian Priest's elimination because he eliminated 4 people, and they had the right guy do the job. And again, another thing I will give WWE credit for, they had the right people eliminate certain people in this match. Certain types of people needed to be eliminated by the correct people, and Lashley was the correct man to do it. Big E and Lashley, they had a back and forth. 23 was the Hurricane. Complete fucking waste of a spot. Hurricane's a fucking loser. He was eliminated by Big E and Lashley. 24 was Christian. And, man, let me tell you something. Christian's one of my personal favorite superstars ever. He really deserved a longer reign as world champion. I would have had Christian hold the world championship all the way to SummerSlam, and he would have been the one that Mark Henry would have taken it off of. And Christian and his monumentous babyface world title reign would have been halted by Mark Henry's Hall of Pain. Now that's me personally, but I love Christian. Christian is fantastic. He looks in great shape too. Christian looks in great shape for his age. I was personally very, very happy to see him back, and I was very, very happy that he was cleared. He looked great. Lashley was eliminated by 4 men, Christian included. Christian hit the kill switch to Big E, and Edge and Christian, they worked together. They double-teamed Riddle. They look great here, did Edge and Christian. 25 was AJ Styles. Edge hit him with a spear. 26 was Rey Mysterio. AJ Styles was saved from elimination by Omos. Omos then eliminated Big E and sent him over the announce table. Not really sure what that's going to do for the next few weeks leading up into WrestleMania. 27 was Sheamus. Omos helped Styles eliminate Rey Mysterio. 28 was Cesaro. He swung Sheamus. No bar reunion. We had a swing to Bryan. 29 was the Messiah, Seth Rollins. And we saw Seth Rollins in this Rumble. He actually played a big role in the Rumble later on. Braun Strowman was number 30. There was no Jey Uso. He entered the Rumble, but I believe he's out with COVID. So if he is, there was a report that McIntyre wasn't the only man that was out with COVID. So it seemed to me that Jey Uso may have caught it. He was the person that caught COVID-19 because they said a SmackDown superstar caught it. So after that, Braun Strowman came in at number 30. Strowman threw out Styles. Omos saved him. Strowman eliminated Cesaro. Braun then eliminated Sheamus, and then he eliminated Styles. We had a double spear by Edge and Christian. Daniel Bryan and Riddle went at it. He was taking on everyone. Bryan and Riddle actually mixed it up a lot. Rollins with a stomp. Rollins came in out of nowhere, and he eliminated Daniel Bryan. So, the Royal Rumble dreams of Daniel Bryan were dashed. Now, I understand. I really do. I understand concerns, and I was pissed too. But if there was an individual to do it, it was probably Seth Rollins. Individual to eliminate Daniel Bryan if Daniel Bryan was going to be eliminated. So, Riddle was then dumped out to the apron. We then had a stomp. To Riddle on the apron, and Riddle was eliminated by Seth Rollins. Braun then dropped Rollins when Rollins tried to get a little buddy with Strowman. Rollins dumped Strowman, and then we had Christian and Edge getting in it with Strowman and Rollins. We had Strowman and Christian both eliminated by Seth Rollins, and then Rollins was eliminated by Edge. Out of nowhere, Randy Orton comes in with an RKO. Did not forget about Randy Orton there. Orton came in with an RKO, and he was getting ready to throw Edge out. Out of nowhere, Edge regains consciousness, and Edge eliminates Randy Orton to win. Yes, Edge wins the 2021 Men's Royal Rumble match. Now, I understand a lot of people's concerns here. And normally, if a superstar from the past, if a superstar that's already won the Rumble, won the Royal Rumble, normally I'd be a little bit more angry. But I'm actually not going to shit on this. At all. I'm not going to shit on this because with Edge winning the Rumble, this plays into what many people were predicting with Bayley. So they really did it in reverse. We all thought that Bayley was going to be the one to win the Women's Royal Rumble, even though she's already a made woman, to go to WrestleMania and help enhance Sasha Banks and tell that story of Sasha and Bayley finally getting their Mania match. But I knew that wasn't going to happen, because if Vince didn't give them their WrestleMania match in the last 4 WrestleManias, which is when it should have happened, he wasn't going to give it to them now. But they actually had Edge come back, even though he's a made man. He won the Men's Royal Rumble 11 years to the day in which he won his first Royal Rumble. So a nice little historical moment right there for Edge. He won it from the number 1 position. He became only the 3rd man in history to win it from the number 1 position. And on top of that, he became the 6th or 7th man in history, the 6th or 7th individual to win 2 Royal Rumbles. But I'm actually not pissed at all with Edge winning the Rumble here. First off, it was a very good Royal Rumble. I will say it was a very good Rumble. Secondly, Bryan can still get Roman through the Elimination Chamber. Roman, more likely than not, will defend the title against Nakamura. I don't have any faith, but because that makes too much sense, because Nakamura was fucked over. So I don't expect Bruce Pritchard to make sense of what happened with Nakamura. But, a guy can dream. But I expect Roman to stay Universal Champion. He's not losing that title. Anytime soon. And at the end of the day, Bryan can still win the Elimination Chamber, and he can go forth through the Elimination Chamber, and he can win the right to face Reigns that way. Edge wins the Royal Rumble here. Edge and McIntyre, that's not a bad fucking match at all. That's not a bad match at all for WrestleMania. Matter of fact, that was one of the matches that I actually pitched for McIntyre following McIntyre's win over Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 36. Edge was actually one of the top tier opponents that you could have put against McIntyre during his first reign as WWE Champion. I actually wouldn't have had McIntyre lose the WWE title at all. I would have much rather, if you wanted to, you could have done McIntyre and Edge at this Royal Rumble. Edge and McIntyre at the Royal Rumble 2021 was actually something that I pitched. But it seems like they're doing that at WrestleMania now. It seems like they want to give Edge one more big run. And you know what? I don't mind Edge winning the Rumble because at the end of the day, Edge winning the Rumble to go to WrestleMania to put over Drew McIntyre and enhance Drew McIntyre's WWE Championship reign. Plus, we'll get a great match. I can't really shit on that. I can't really shit all over that. And I'm actually not mad at all that Edge won the Royal Rumble. I actually think that this would be a great way to help McIntyre. McIntyre, in his second WWE Championship reign, beat Styles, beat Keith Lee, beat Goldberg. So if he beats Edge, that's only going to further cement him as a bona fide superstar. So I cannot shit on that whatsoever. And overall, Royal Rumble 2021, great show. I really can't shit on it overall. It may have come at a cost because Daniel Bryan didn't win, but I can't really shit on Edge because he's going to go to McIntyre. He's going to go to McIntyre at WrestleMania, and he's going to enhance Drew McIntyre in his WWE Championship reign. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of The Rewind. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. Thank you very much. Please like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the links in the description. I will keep you guys updated on everything going down this month, next month, and the entirety of WrestleMania season. We got a lot to go over. We got a lot to dissect. Of course, I will be live this Saturday, as always, for the Lightning Flash update. Check out all the links in the description. Check out the Lightning Flash update from a couple days ago. If you missed it, I will be live tweeting for Raw. I'll be live tweeting for Raw, note-taking, live tweeting for Dynamite as well, and of course for SmackDown on Friday. For those of you who are on the East Coast dealing with the snowstorm right now, please stay safe, stay indoors, snuggle up by the fireplace, drink some hot cocoa. Drink a hot cocoa for me. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm DJ Storms. This has been The Rewind, and I will catch you guys for Monday Night Raw tonight. You guys have a great evening.